Tedy Bruschi, former NFL player with the Patriots, won some Super Bowls. This is what he thinks about the Browns locker room and just teammates handling the Deshaun Watson situation.
So the teammate aspect of being a teammate, certainly you have to have an incredible ability to compartmentalize that this is who you may believe that this person is on the side and deep down, and then also be supportive in terms of winning football games with him. So I disagree with some of these things I've read that he allegedly did, and it makes me feel strongly, but man, here's my quarterback, so you got to put these in different sections of your brain to be successful as a football player in the Cleveland Browns locker room. There are so many different perspectives. The female fan perspective, and every player that's in the league has a strong-willed woman at home, more than likely, okay? Asking my wife just recently, babe, how do you feel about this? You do feel as a woman, how do you feel about this Deshaun Watson thing that's going on? And she tells me how she feels, but I posed to her another question. I said, all right, babe, what if Deshaun Watson was my teammate? And there's a little bit more of an emotional response that comes out of that. So we as players have to deal with how our significant others deal with this at home also. Compartmentalize that.
And Quincy, the locker room is a really interesting place. It's got to be everybody together, or things usually don't go well.
Yeah, and with Deshaun, like, of course, the off the field stuff, it's going to be an issue for a lot of people off the field for that, right? But also people understand that on the field, look, winning is at a premium, and for everybody, including, the people at home, to want to eat well and get what they want out of their careers, you got to win these football games. And ultimately, if Deshaun Watson is going to be helpful towards winning, there's going to be no problem in the locker room, right? Like, that's just how these things go in the NFL. If you are helpful towards winning, people going to put up with a lot, right? People put up with Antonio Brown. They put up with Vontaze Burfict. They put up with all kind of stuff, right? Andre Rison back in the 90s. People put up with that because they thought that would get them closer to winning. And when you get closer to winning, that's also getting closer to your goals, your personal goals, your larger goals, and everything in between that. So right now, they see him as somebody who is helpful to winning. If this were a situation where Deshaun Watson were a more mediocre player, yeah, this would be an issue, right? Because if you're adding all of this and you're not helpful to a piece towards helping to win, this is not going to be something that plays well. That's probably why a lot of this stuff happened with Baker Mayfield, because they got to the point where they felt like he wasn't helpful towards winning at a certain point. So with that, a lot of the stuff in the NFL locker room is, can you help us win? Look, the thing that people don't give football players credit for when it comes to locker room dynamics is football has a little bit of everybody in there. There are going to be people in that locker room with political opinions that state them in that locker room that you heavily disagree with, but you're going to play with because, hey, man, we got to win these football games. Like, they get these dudes from every spread of this country. Every opinion of this country is in an NFL locker room. So, I mean, I think they're already used to compartmentalizing these things when it comes to a lot of situations, right? There was the Colin Kaepernick thing that happened in a lot of locker rooms where some guys were for it, some guys were against it. You compartmentalize and you played football games at the end of the day because you want to win the game. And that's all that matters in the NFL locker room. And in the football locker room in general is really all that matters.